I remember the president at the time on the steps of State House talking about how people are very interested in investing in the Eurobond. And his statement was very telling.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bonds are now also trading at a premium of 102% on the Irish Stock Exchange, signifying further investor confidence in our economy. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Kenyans, I want to assure you that the government will spend this money prudently. Proceeds of both transactions will be used for funding of infrastructure projects in energy, transport, and agriculture. We will reduce government borrowing from the domestic markets, which should boost investment, spur economic growth, and provide more employment opportunities to our people. That cash is now deposited in our Kenyan accounts.
We have audited all these accounts, and I want to state here categorically, without any fear of any contradiction, that all the Eurobonds, including this 2 billion, have not funded one project. One project.
Fellow Kenyans, I want to assure you that the government will spend this money prudently.
The issue about Eurobond money being stolen, my friend, is utter nonsense.
Who is supposed to decide whether it is nonsense or whether it's real? Is it you or is it the investigative agencies?
Let me tell you, you sincerely think, Hussein, the government of Kenya can collude with the government of the United States to steal public money from Kenya? You should really?
Okay.
On June 19th, 2014, they say an account was opened, a JP Morgan Stanley account in New York for the Eurobond receipt. The account number 6031499985 is titled GOK/CBK Sovereign Bond. Payments into and out of this account shall be made using a SWIFT code. On 27th of June 2014, Accountant General's Office mandated 2 people to be the authorized signatories of this new account at JP Morgan Chase, New York. Bernard Mwirore Ndongo, the Accountant General himself, and Julius Musiemi Kilinda, also in his office.
Jimmy?
Yes.
So where did the money go?
I shall begin that explanation. About 2015-2016, the late Jacob Juma brought this to my attention. Jacob Juma had been analyzing the quarterly reports of the Treasury. And he said, I thought we were borrowing Eurobonds so that we don't borrow domestic.
We will reduce government borrowing from the domestic markets.
But when I look at the quarterly reports, it is showing that we are borrowing domestic.
In addition to having gotten
In addition to receiving the Eurobond.
Okay.
And it's the exact amount, roughly about 200-300 billion shillings at the time, as the Eurobond. So it seems like we didn't stop. This must have been a heist. Now,
is there proof that that money actually made its way into Kenya?
What we see is that that money went from Standard Chartered into JP Morgan Chase account. So that money, 1.99 billion, did enter this account in New York. That we have been given evidence by JP Morgan Chase.
Okay.
The first Eurobond, which is to be paid this year, was $2 billion taken 10 years ago, owed to Standard Chartered Bank through JP Morgan Chase. And this was a 10-year bond payable, as you said, June next year. The second Eurobond creditor is Citibank. This is due February 2028. $1 billion. Another billion was taken by the creditor Citibank, due again February 28th, $1 billion. So that's $2 billion due in 2028. Then you have another one by Citi what they call Citigroup Global Markets Europe AG, $900 million, payable in equal installments commencing 2025 May. And you have another one, so Citigroup Global Markets Europe AG, of $1.2 billion, commencing again payments in 3 equal installments starting 2030 to 2022. So the total Eurobonds taken have been $6.1 billion. That in today's value is over 900 billion Kenya shillings. And I want to state here categorically, without any fear of any contradiction, all the Eurobonds have not funded one project. One project. As I said, this is nothing more than an elaborate money laundering scheme. Nothing more. And then on top of that, I want to assure you, $1 billion, which is equivalent today of 150 billion, never came into this country, never landed into any account here, was outright theft by a regime. And as I told you previously, the regime is very clear who is responsible. The warrants of the treasury of any money moving are signed by the President of the Republic of Kenya. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is personally responsible for this money.
And I also intend to go to court to challenge what they're calling the public debt. And let the shit hit the fan.